Welcome to Narayana online digital classes. This is Srinivas chemistry faculty from Madhapur. Today I would like to explain some objective questions from stoichiometry. Let us go for the questions. Yeah, this is the first question. Question number 157 from our Narayana material, page number 59. Okay. How many grams of H3PO4 is required to completely neutralize 120 grams of NaOH? So, for doing problems based on the stoichiometric relations, are the problems related to the chemical equations, we need to write a chemical equation based on the given data. And after writing of that chemical equation, we need to balance that equation, that is mandatory. For comparing the weights, volumes or number of moles of reactants and products, it requires a balanced chemical equation. Okay. So, what the reaction, neutralization reaction between H3PO4 and NaOH? Okay. See here, H3PO4 is an acid which has a basicity of 3, orthophosphoric acid, and when it is treated with a base, a neutralization reaction takes place, and in that reaction the products are nothing but salt and water is formed in any neutralization reaction. Okay. So, here 3 hydrogens are there, here only 1 OH is there. Now, in order to form water, 3 H2O molecules are formed. So, need to take 3 moles of NaOH. And what is the salt formed here? Na3PO4. What is that? Sodium phosphate is the salt formed in this neutralization reaction. So, yes, I have write this equation and already balanced. Now, what he has asked, how many grams of H3PO4 is required to completely neutralize 120 grams of. So, according to the equation, 1 mole of H3PO4 is react with 3 moles of NaOH. Okay. Yes. So, regarding the weights of reactants, he has asked. Now, I am changing that number of moles into corresponding molecular weights. 1 mole weight is equal to its gram molecular weight. So, for that, what is the molecular weight of H3PO4? That is 98 grams. Weight of 1 mole of molecules is nothing but its gram molecular weight. And here we required 3 moles. And what is the gram molecular weight of sodium hydroxide? That is 40 grams. So, I need to write 40 here. So, in terms of weight of that reactants, 98 grams of H3PO4 is required for 120 grams of NaOH. And in this question see once, for 120 grams, how much amount of H3PO4 is required means, that is 98 grams. Clearly, no need to calculate. According to the balanced equation, I can change the number of moles into corresponding molecular weights, and from that comparison, for 120 grams of NaOH, it requires 98 grams of H3BO4. So the answer is 98 grams. Okay, is it clear? Yes. Let us go for the next question. Yes, KClO3 decomposes to KCl and O2. If the volume of O2 obtained in this reaction is 1.12 liters, weight of KCl formed in the reaction. So he is asked about the information of both products. He has given the volume of one product and asked about the weight of another product. So it is weight to volume relation. And this is the question number 158 from our material from page number 59 from exercise 1. Okay. Yeah. So from that, definitely we can write an chemical equation which involves the decomposition of KClO3. Yes. On decomposition, what are the products? He has given that information. What are the products? KCl and O2. After writing this skeletal equation, definitely we have to balance that. So here, how can I balance it? 2 KClO3 on decomposition will give 3 moles of O2 and 2 moles of KCl. Okay. He has given the volume of one product and asked about the weight of another product. So it is called weight volume relation. Okay. Yes. Now, according to the equation, balanced equation, 2 moles of KCl is formed. If it was 2 moles, definitely the formed oxygen should be 3 moles. Now, he has asked about the weight of KCl formed, so I can change that corresponding number of moles into its gram molecular weights. So, what is the weight of KCl here? Yes, 39 plus 35.5 for chlorine. Okay, so how much it is? 74.5. So 2 into 74.5 KCl is formed along with 3 moles of oxygen, and volume regarding oxygen was he has given, so that I am changing that number of moles into volume. We know that one mole of any gaseous substance at STP conditions can occupy 22.4 liters. So from that 3 moles of gas can occupy how much volume? 3 into 22.4 liters. Okay. See here I am writing the comparison about KCl and O2 here. If 3 moles of means 3 into 22.4 liters of O2 formed, then definitely 2 into 74.5 was formed here. Now, if only 1.12 liters of oxygen formed, then how much amount of KCl is formed? Okay, so from this comparison, by cross multiplying, I am going to calculate the amount of mass of KCl formed is equal to 2 into 74.5 into 1.12 divided by 3 into 22.4 liters. By solving that calculation, I will get the answer is 2.48 grams. 2.48 grams. So, along with the 1.1 liters of oxygen, when KClO3 undergoes decomposition, the weight of KCl formed should be 2.48 grams. Is clear? Yeah. Let us go for the next one. Yeah, the volume of phosgene. What is phosgene? Phosgene is a poisonous gas. Phosgene. Phosgene is nothing but COCl2. Okay. based on the question, he has given the complete information to write the equation. So the volume of phosgene formed at STP when 11.2 liters of chlorine reacts with carbon monoxide. So what are the reactants here? Chlorine and carbon monoxide. And what is the product formed here? Phosgene, that is nothing but COCl2. So based on that, I am going to write the equation. When CO is react with Cl2, COCl2 is formed. Okay. So balance that equation. If you observe that one, that was already balanced. Yes. Now for 1 mole of carbon monoxide, 1 mole of Cl2 required and 1 mole of COCl2, nothing but phosgene is formed. So in the given problem, he has given the volume of chlorine and asked about the volume of carbon COCl2, that means nothing but phosgene formed. Volume was given and volume was asked. This relation is called as volume-volume relation. Okay. So I am going to take the volumes Cl2. How much chlorine reacts with the carbon monoxide? So how much phosgene is formed? So for chlorine and here, so 1 mole of any gas occupies at STP is 22.4 liters and 1 mole here also 22.4 liters. Okay. So I am taking the comparison here for chlorine and phosgene. So if you take 22.4 liters of chlorine, 22.4 liters of phosgene is formed, and for 11.2 liters, how much amount of phosgene is formed? So the volume of phosgene formed, COCl2 is formed. How can we calculate? Simply by cross multiplying from this comparison. Okay. 22.4 into 11.2 divided by 22.4. Okay. That is equal to 11.2 liters. Okay. Yes. Let us go for the next question. Yes. See here, this is the question number 160 from our material, page number 59. Yes. 26 cc. What is cc? 1 centimeter cube. 1 centimeter cube is called 1 cc, and that is equal to 1 milliliters. Okay. 1 decimeter cube is equal to 10 centimeter whole cube, and that will give 1000 ml or 1 liter. 1 liter. Okay. Similarly, 1 meter cube is equal to 1000 liters. This is the commonly used volumes here. Okay. Now, cc is nothing but 1 ml. 1 cc is nothing but 1 ml. Yes, 26 cc of CO2 are passed over red hot coke. Red hot coke means nothing but carbon. So when CO2 is passed over carbon, what is the compound formed? That is 2CO. 2CO. The volume of CO evolved is. So volume of CO2 was given and volume of CO was asked. That means this is the volume-volume relation. So I can take also number of moles is directly proportional to volume. Number of moles ratio, volume ratio is same. No problem. So here for 26, for 1 mole of, according to the balanced reaction, 1 mole of CO2 when passed on red hot coke, it will form 2 moles of carbon monoxide. Okay. That means if you convert the volume, number of moles to volume, 1 mole can occupy 22.4 liters. Here 2 moles can occupy 2 into 22.4 liters. Okay. Now, Yes, I am going to compare the volumes of CO2 and CO. For 22.4 liters of CO2, 2 into 22.4 liters of CO is formed, but for 26 ml of carbon monoxide, how much amount it was? Volume of CO formed during that reaction is equal to, how can we find? 22.4 into 2 into 26 divided by 22.4. These are liters, but 26 is milliliters. So that is nothing but how much? 2 into 26, nothing but 52 ml. So how much was? 52 cc. Is it clear? So this is also volume relation. Let us go for the next one. Yes, if 5 ml of methane is completely burned, the volume of oxygen required and the volume of CO2 formed under the same conditions. Under the same conditions, here not at STP conditions. Okay, so volume of methane has given and asked about the volume of oxygen that was required for the combustion, and also asked about the volume of CO2 formed during that combustion reaction. Yes, yeah. So for the solving of this question, it is also volume relation. Need to write a chemical reaction based on the given data. So methane, what is methane here? CH4. Combustion means nothing but reaction with oxygen, and whatever the hydrocarbon, if it undergoes combustion in presence of excess of oxygen, the carbon present in that hydrocarbon is converting as CO2, and hydrogen in that carbon is converting to water. Okay, this is the process involved in the combustion, and how to guess the products was formed in this reaction, in combustion reaction for the hydrocarbon. This is compulsory, right? Now I would like to balance this reaction. Here 4 hydrogens are there, here only 2, so I need to take 2 moles of water, and then total oxygens on the product side 2 plus 2 4, so I need to take 2 moles of oxygen here. So these are not volumes are not measured at STP conditions. Whatever it may be, number of moles ratio should be equal to its volumes ratio. So as per that, 1 mole of this required 2 moles of oxygen, and 1 mole of CO2 is formed. So number, according to Avogadro's law, volume of any gas is directly proportional to number of moles at constant temperature and pressure. So conditions should be same, as he has given that. So moles ratio we can take in it as the volumes ratio, no problem. So one volume of methane requires 2 volumes of oxygen, and 1 volume of CO2 is formed. That means volume means you can take anything, the ratio should be same. That means 1 ml of methane requires 2 ml of oxygen and forms 1 ml of CO2. Otherwise, if you want to take in liters, then you can take liters for all the substances in the same ratio. So that means 1 liter of methane requires 2 liters of and 1 liter of CO2 is formed. So you can take like this also, ratio should be same. Now, the volume of oxygen required he has asked as per the, and he has given in milliliters, so I am going to take that milliliters. So I am going to compare methane volume and oxygen volume according to the balanced reaction in volumes ratio. Okay, 1 ml of, according to that reaction, 1 ml of methane requires 2 ml of O2. But we are taking how many milliliters of methane? 5 milliliters. Okay. So for 1 ml it is, for 5 ml it is how much required? So volume of oxygen required is equal to how much? 5 into 2, that is equal to 10 ml. Okay. This is about the volume of oxygen that it requires. Next, how much volume of carbon dioxide is formed? Now I am going to compare the volume of methane and carbon dioxide according to the balanced equation and volumes ratio. So for 1 volume of methane, 1 volume of carbon dioxide, that means 1 ml of methane produces 1 ml of carbon dioxide. But methane volume is available, 5 ml is available, so how many milliliters of CO2 is formed? So volume of CO2 formed is equal to 5 into 1, that is equal to 5 ml. So here are the two values. So what is that? The volume of carbon dioxide formed under the same condition required. So first one is the volume of oxygen required. Volume of oxygen required. How much volume? 10 ml. 10 ml. And volume of carbon dioxide 5 ml. So which one is the correct? Second one is the correct. Is it clear? Yes, very easy. Let us go for the next one. Yeah. How many moles of potassium chlorate should be decomposed completely to obtain 67.2 liters of oxygen at STP? So he has given the STP conditions. Now based on the data given, we can make some chemical reaction. So how many moles of potassium chlorate? What is potassium chlorate? KClO3 is the potassium chlorate. So if it decomposes, it will give KCl and O2. Okay. Now for balancing that equation, I am taking 2 moles of this and here 3 moles and 2 moles of this is formed. According to that balanced equation, he has asked the number of moles of KClO3 for a particular volume of oxygen formed. So it is called mole volume ratio. Mole volume ratio. So according to balanced equation, 2 moles of KClO3 decomposed, 3 moles of O2 is formed. So here moles are asked, no problem. 3 moles means 3 into 22.4 liters volume occupies, because 1 mole of any gaseous substance at STP conditions occupies 22.4 liters. Okay. So now how many moles was required for the formation of? So if you take 2 moles of KClO3 after decomposition, it forms 3 into 22.4 means nothing but that is equal to 67.2 liters. Okay, so for 67.2 liters, how many moles of this was required? No need to do any calculation. Here directly from 2 moles, 67.2 is formed. So the number of moles of KClO3 required for the formation of 67.2 liters of oxygen is equal to nothing but 2. So here answer is 2. Clear? So moles volume ratio. No need to do any calculation, directly from that stoichiometric equation answer was given. Okay? Yes. Let us go for the next question. Yeah. The reactant which is entirely consumed in reaction is known as limiting reagent. So in the reaction, 2A plus 4B gives rise to 3C plus 4D. When 5 moles of A react with the 6 moles of B, then which is the limiting reagent, and calculate the amount of C formed in the above reaction. So in this particular question, he has given us the definition of limiting reagent, which was completely consumed. So if one of the reactant, for limiting reagent problems, it is necessary to have at least 2 reactants. Among them, if one reactant is completely consumed and one reactant is present excess amount than required, so the one which is consumed completely is called as limiting reagent, and the one which is present in excess amounts when compared with this limiting reagent, that is called excess reagent. Okay, yes. Now according to the given equation, what the equation I am writing here, what the equation has given, 2A plus 4B gives rise to 3C plus 4D. Okay. Now 2 moles of A required 4 moles of B, but he has given 5 moles of A and 6 moles of B. Then we need to find which one is the limiting reagent and which one is the excess reagent. For that, what I am doing, listen carefully. I am comparing the number of moles as per the reaction of A and B reactants. So according to the balanced reaction, for 2 moles of A, 4 moles of B was required. Okay, yes. Now for 5 moles of A, how many moles of B is required? First of all, we do that calculation. Okay, so see here, number of moles of B required for 5 moles of A, for 5 moles of A. Okay, so how can we do this? That is equal to 5 into 4 divided by 2, that is equal to 10 moles. 10 moles of actually B required, but how many moles he has supplied here? Only 6. So here total 6 moles was consumed. So what is the limiting reagent? It is not sufficient when compared with the other reactant. So here limiting reagent, which one is consumed completely? Limiting reagent is nothing but B. So whatever the products formed, the amount of product that was formed only decided by the limiting reagent, not excess reagent. Is it clear? Yeah. So I would like to calculate the amount of C formed here based on the limiting reagent. Okay. So I am going to compare B and C. So according to the equation, 4 moles of B can produce 3 moles of C. 4 moles, and here how many moles of C was formed from that? From 4 moles of B, according to the equation, 3 moles. But how many moles of B available for the reaction? 6. So for 6 moles, how many? Okay. So number of moles of C formed is equal to 6 into 3 by 4, 18 by 4. So it is nothing but 4.5. So limiting reagent is B. Limiting reagent is B, and number of moles of C is formed is 4.5. So among the given options, which one is the correct one? Second option is the correct one. Okay, yes. Yeah, yes, this is question number 164 from our material. A solution containing 0.2 mole of ferric chloride is allowed to react with 0.24 mole of sodium hydroxide. The correct statement for this reaction. Okay, so for any problem we need to write a balanced chemical equation. What is this? Ferric chloride reacting with sodium hydroxide. So I am writing the equation here. FeCl3, if it react with NaOH, so what is the formed product? FeOH taken 3 times plus NaCl formed. So here 3 Cl's are there, so you need to place 3 moles. So for 3 sodiums here we have to face yes. This is the balanced reaction. Now, how many moles of ferric chloride is he supplied? 0.2, and how many moles of sodium hydroxide? 0.24. Right. So I need to find which one is the limiting reagent. See here, if information about 2 reactant terms, number of moles or weight, whatever is given, then definitely we should identify which one is the limiting reagent that is completely consumed in the reaction, because based on that only the amount of product formed. Okay, that will decide the amount of product formed, right? So as per the equation, see here, 1 mole of FeCl3 requires 3 mole of NaOH for complete reaction. Okay, but see here, only ferric chloride is 0.2. So for 0.2 moles, how many moles of NaOH was required? Just we calculate. If it is equal to the given amount or more than or less than the given number of moles, we will see. Then we can find which one is the limiting reagent. Yes. Now, so number of moles of NaOH required for 0.2 moles of FeCl3 is equal to 0.2 into 3 by 1, that is equal to 0.6. So 0.6 moles of NaOH required for 0.2 moles of FeCl3. But how many moles of NaOH was present here? Only 0.24. That is lesser amount than required for the 0.2 moles of FeCl3. So what can we consider here? NaOH is limiting reagent or FeCl3 is limiting reagent? Fe3L is present in excess. Okay, so here it is concluded that NaOH is not sufficient and completely consumed. So from this point I am going to write NaOH is the limiting reagent. Limiting reagent. Okay. Now, so here it is FeOH taken 3 times. Okay. So from that we can, from limiting reagent only, we can estimate the amount of product formed. So I am going to compare the limiting reagent and product what we required, FeOH, yes. So I am going to NaOH compare the number of moles of FeOH taken 3 times. Okay. So according to the reaction, for 3 moles of NaOH, 1 mole of Fe. So 3 moles NaOH can form 1 mole of Fe. But how many moles of NaOH actually they are available in this reaction is 0.24. So for 0.2 moles, how many moles was formed here? Okay. So number of moles of FeOH taken 3 times formed is equal to, okay, 0.24 divided by S3, that is equal to 0.08. Okay, yes, number of moles. So among the given options, NaOH is the limiting reagent, so first one is correct one. And how much amount of FeOH taken 3 times was formed? Yes, this. Now, already as our discussion, NaOH is limiting reagent means FeCl3 is the excess reagent. Okay, excess reagent. So how much excess is there? For 0.24 moles, actually how much amount of that was required we will calculate. Okay, then from that we can FeCl3 and NaOH I am again going to compare. Okay, now according to the equation, for 1 mole of this 3 moles, for 0.24 moles how much amount required actually we will calculate. So number of moles of FeCl3 required is equal to 0.24 by 3, that is equal to 0.08. So number of moles FeCl3 left unreacted is equal to the amount of the FeCl3 consumed and the number of moles of initial FeCl3 taken is 0.2. From that how much was consumed? 0.08. So that is equal to 0.12. How many moles was left unreacted means 0. So third option is also correct. So the correct option is all the above. This is the right option. All the above. Okay. Yes. The next question, 1.4 NCERT book. How many moles of methane are required to produce 22 grams of CO2 after combustion? Okay. How many moles of methane are required to produce 22 grams of? So, moles of methane was asked and given about the information CO2 weight. So, moles weight ratio. Okay. So, I need to write methane is nothing but CH4 under combustion. CO under for combustion, what it requires actually? Oxygen was required. O2 gives rise to CO2 plus H2O. Any hydrocarbon undergoes combustion, carbon in that hydrocarbon converts as CO2, hydrogen is converted as water, already I told you. Yes, so for balancing this, 4 hydrogens are there, so 2 moles and 2 moles of O2 is required. Yes, so according to this, 1 mole of methane undergoes combustion, 1 mole of CO2 is formed, but it has given the weight of carbon dioxide. So I need to change it to molecular weight. 1 mole weight means 44 grams. Okay. See, now I am going to compare these two. Okay. If 1 mole undergoes combustion, how much amount of carbon dioxide formed? 44 grams. So if it requires only 22 grams for formation of 22 grams of carbon dioxide, how many methane moles can be undergoes combustion? Okay. Now number of moles of methane undergoes to combustion in order to produce 22 grams of carbon dioxide is 22 into 1 divided by 44. 2 times 1 by 2, that is equal to 0.5 moles was required. So how many moles required? 0.5. Okay. Yes. Next, 50 kg of N2 and 10 kg of H2 are mixed to produce NH3. Calculate the amount of NH3 formed. Identify the limiting reagent in the production of NH3 in this situation. Okay, right. So N2 when react with hydrogen, it forms NH3. Commercially, this process is called Haber's process. in industry. So 3 moles of H2 required, 2 moles of NH3 is formed. Okay. So need to write 1 mole of nitrogen requires 3 mole of hydrogen and 2 moles of ammonia is formed according to the balanced chemical equation. Now he has given the weight of all the substances, so I need to change that number of moles into corresponding weights. So 1 mole weight means nothing but 28 grams. Here 3 moles means 3 into 2 6 grams. Here 2 moles 3 into 17 34 grams. So but in this given data weight is taken in kgs. So we can take that ratio, no problem. So for 28, or we can take this, for 28 kg of nitrogen, it requires 6 kg of hydrogen and forms 34 kg of ammonia. Okay? Yes. So among that, which one? So here he has given the information about 2 reactants, so need to identify the limiting reagent by comparing both the reactant weights. Okay? So here I am taking N2 and H2. I am comparing here. So actually for 28 kg of nitrogen, 6 kg is sufficient. But for 50 kg, how much was required? Let us calculate. So weight of hydrogen required is equal to 50 into 6 by 28. Okay. Actually, yes, 300 by 28. So definitely it is 10 point something. Okay, 10 point something. But we have only 10 kg. But it is more than that. So which one is the limit? Not sufficient. Hydrogen amount is not sufficient. So hydrogen is the limiting reagent. Limiting reagent. Now, how much amount of ammonia formed can be decided by the limiting reagent. So, I need to compare the weights of hydrogen and ammonia. Okay. So, according to the reaction, if you take 6 kg of this, 34 kg of this is formed. Okay. Now, for 10 kg, how much formed? So, from this, weight of NH3 formed, NH3 formed is equal to 10 into 34 divided by 6 kg. Okay. So this much amount of ammonia is formed. Okay. Need to calculate. Yes. What is the limiting reagent here? Hydrogen. Okay. Yes. This is the end of the session for today. Thank you so much.